zigzag and the second one is arm shape, right? And if you see the properties of zigzag GNR, it will show always the metallic properties, right? Whereas the armchair GNR will show two properties, right? Depending on the number of atoms you are counting here. Number of atoms you are counting here, it will show two properties, the semiconductor and metal. Okay, it will show two properties, semiconductor and metal. Those things we will see in next slides. Yeah. So this one we cleared, right? What is GNR? How it is acting as a one-dimensional, right? How to convert the graphene to GNR? It is clear. Done. Now the second part is what is CNT? Okay. How the graphene can be converted into CNT, right? That thing I need to clear. Yeah. So what you do? You take a zigzag GNR. This is zigzag GNR, right? You hold at the center and you roll it. You hold at the center and you roll it. The cross section is look like a arm shape. Correct? The cross section is look like a arm shape, right? Because this is metallic. The zigzag GNR is metallic. At the same time, the arm shape CNT is metallic. Okay, right? The zigzag GNR is metallic and arm shape CNT is a metallic. Similarly, you take a armchair GNR, you hold here and you roll it. You hold here and roll it. The cross section is look like a zigzag. Okay. The cross section is look like a zigzag, which is a semiconductor as well as metal. Right? At the same time, you don't hold at the center, you hold with some angle. Okay, you hold with some angle. Right? So it look like a chiral. Right? It is not a zigzag, it is not a semiconductor, it is look like a chiral. Right? So actually I want to tell you, this is the question that one of my interview asked in my faculty interview. One professor asked that I didn't understand this concept because I am not from the VLSI background. You try to clear it. Whatever I am saying, he didn't understand. And then again he asked me, I didn't get your point, what you are saying. I know what is zigzag GNR, I know what is armchair GNR, right? This point I understood. Okay, because that cross section is zigzag and this cross section is armchair, I understood, right? But this one I didn't get. What is armchair CNT and what is zigzag GNT and what is chiral CNT? So this thing I didn't understand. Then what I did, you know, I have taken a paper, one paper. So I have taken a paper, this one, right? I said that this paper is look like a zigzag GNR, correct? You hold like this. You hold like this, then it will become a armchair CNT. You hold like this. It will look like a zigzag CNT. You hold like this, right? It will look like a chiral CNT, right? Then he understood what I am saying, right? The same thing I placed here, right? Depending on the angle of rolling, you can define three types of CNTs, right? Yeah. Some more, one more. There are other types of CNTs are also there, depending on the way that we are rolling. Right. One is SWCNT. A CNT with a single valve. Okay. It is a single valve, right? So it is called a SW. Single valve CNT. This is MW. Double valve actually, not MW. Double valve. One valve here, another valve here. Okay. DWCNT. Double valve CNT. This is multi-valve. How many valves are there? 4. Yes, it is a multi-valve. Okay. Right? It is a MWCNT. So all can be used as a metals. SW, MW, DW, all can be used as a metals. So we will see the fabrication procedure of CNT, right? So this is the way that we fabricate the CNTs in our labs, right? So we will take a silicon substrate, we coat it with the silicon dioxide layer, we will etch, we will put the nickel, we will put some nickel drops there, right? Then the CNTs will grow like this. After that we will polishing it. We will polishing it and we will measure the properties. Okay. So this is what we will do generally. Okay. So if you want to measure, you need to put. We need to accept the two sides, right? If you want to measure the electrical properties of this, you need to measure the two sides. But unfortunately, this side is already covered. For CNT, this side is already covered. So that's why we put a plate here. We put a plate. We put positive here and negative here, so that we are accessing the bottom part. Okay. And some SCM pictures I placed here. Okay. So these are pictured at a nanometer scale. It means this distance is 20 nanometer. Okay. This distance is 20 nanometer. It means there is a CNT is growing like this. You can clearly see. Okay. There is a carbon nanotube growing like this with a nanometer of approximately 1 nanometer. Okay. The diameter is 1 nanometer. Right. Some CNTs you can see. So these are the etching parts where we need to put that nickel gel. Right. After that the CNTs will grow like this. Okay. After that you can measure it using the electron probe technique. Similarly, just like SWCNT and MWCNT, in GNR also we have multi layers. Okay. So this is your cathode and that is your anode, right? You want to communicate between cathode and anode, right? We can place many layers because one layer conduction is not sufficient. So that's why we can place many layers, right? You can place many layers in parallel. The SCM image I placed here. Okay. So all these are GNR layers. Okay. So all these are GNR layers. And what purpose I placed here? Because it is acting as interconnect now. Okay. So these GNR layers are acting as interconnect. Right? Yeah. So we already defined a statement that armchair GNR is acting as a semi-metallic. Okay. Depending on the number of atoms across the structure, it will act as a semi-metallic. For example, so this is one GNR, armchair GNR, and this is another armchair GNR. For this one, the number of atoms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 atoms you are seeing here. Okay. So for this sheet, the EK diagram is look like this. You can clearly see that the conduction band and valency band, they are touching each other. So it is a metal. At the same time, if you cut the GNR sheet like this, where the number of atoms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So this is 11 and this is 7 only. This will show the EK diagram look like this. So now there is a clear gap between valency band and conduction band. So it is acting as a semiconductor. Right? So armchair GNR is showing two properties. One is this one and second one is this one. This is metal and that is semiconductor. Okay. It means this is interconnect and that is transistor. Right? Transistor basically it is a semiconductor. Metal is a interconnect. Okay. So what I am trying to say that so using GNR armchair, you can fabricate the device as well as the interconnect both. Both you can do using a single material. Okay. So what you are learning in the class in VLSI course, you are designing the MOSFET using the semiconductor. Correct? You are taking the semiconductor substrate, you are fabricating the silicon dioxide, you are doping the N+ regions, right? Everything you are working on the semiconductor. And metal is a copper. Right? Two different materials you need to use, that is what I want to say. But if you use the graphene, two things you can do using a single material. So this material you use for fabricating the transistor, this one you use for fabricating the interconnect. Right? So it is something like a very big impact for IC industry, right? But just seeing the structure, how to define it is a metal or semiconductor, using this formula you can define. You just count the 3p plus 2. There is a 3 here. So 3p plus 2, where p is integer. If the number of atoms are multiple of 3p plus 2, right, it is a semi-metal. If not, then it is a semiconductor. For example, how many atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 atoms are there. It is look like 3p plus 2, where 3 is 3, right? 3 into 3 plus 2, 11. It is matching, right? So it is a multiple of 3p plus 2. So obviously it is a metal, okay? Right? So by counting the atoms you can define, or you just see 3p plus 2. If it is 3p plus 2, metal, otherwise not. So this is the thing that we are discussing, right? Transistor interconnect, you no need to use two different materials. You just use the graphene. So this is acting as a transistor. This part is acting as a transistor, and this part is acting as an interconnect. Okay. Why? Because here the count is 11. Here the count is 7. Okay. Here the electron count is 7, which is not multiple of 3p plus 2. So it is a semiconductor, and this is a conductor. Semiconductor, conductor, everything you are doing using the graphene itself, right? It is very good thing. So these technical aspects, just I briefly explain. I don't want to go in depth, right? Just I briefly explain. If you take a structure like this, means combination of single wall CNTs, okay? It is just a cross-sectional view. Actually, what is happening? A tube is running into the board, right? A tube is running into the board. In that tube, you have placed 7 CNTs. Okay, that is what I want to say. You have placed 7 CNTs, right? So this is called SWCNT bundle. Okay, this is a bunch, right? Bunch of interconnects are going. So this is called SWCNT bundle, right? And this is MWCNT. Okay. Because this is one shell, this is another shell, another shell, another shell. Okay. So MWCNT. So like this you can place the MWCNT bundle also, right? So it means one MWCNT here, another MWCNT here, another MWCNT here, right? So like this you can define the MWCNT bundle also. So if you compare the conductivity of MWCNT and SWCNT, right? What you observe that for small length, the SWCNT bundle conductivity is high, right? As we discussed in the first slide, we categorize the interconnects into 3 parts: local, intermediate, and global. Local means the length is very small. Global means the length is very large. Intermediate means in between. Okay. So from this graph, it is very clear that if you want to fabricate the local interconnects, you choose the SWCNT. If you want to fabricate the global interconnects, you choose the MWCNT. Okay. For intermediate one, you can choose either SW or MW. It doesn't matter. Both are comparable. Okay. So that is what I want to say. And just I varied the width here and I measured the resistance. This is also very interesting. For larger width, what you observe that for larger width, the resistance of metal and the resistance of semiconductor both are same. Okay. So this is also very interesting. Definitely metal resistance is low and semiconductor resistance is high. But for GNR, for higher width, both resistance are same. For lower width, obviously metal is low and semiconductor is high. Okay. So this is also one of the very important observations we made. Okay. Right. So comparison of MLGNR, SWCNT, MWCNT and copper. So what is MLGNR? You know, multi-layers stacked GNRs. SWCNT, you know, a single wall CNTs, multi-wall CNTs, and copper is the conventional interconnect. Okay. So this is the resistivity plot. Okay. The resistivity is very low. You can clearly see that. The resistivity of SWCNT, MWCNT, MLGNR are very low compared to the copper. So they are used for high-speed signal transmissions, right? This can be used for high-speed signal transmissions. Done. So this one I will skip here. So because half of the time is already over, right? Then I will try to discuss this one after completion of my objective. Okay. So my objective is you need to understand those two papers, right? Once that is done, if time is available, then I will come to this slide. Through silicon vias for 2.5 and 3D IC. Okay. So all the ICs we are currently using are two-dimensional ICs, means planar IC. Okay, planar IC means so you are taking a sheet, and you are placing the processors. Okay, on the same plane, you are placing one processor here. If you are working with a quad-core processor, right? A processor with 4 cores. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 cores you are placing on the same plane. Right? But it is not like that. 3D means the cores are placed on the top. One gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Right? So the cores are placed vertically. Okay. So that's why it is called as a 3D IC. Okay. So it is not currently in the market. This 3D IC is not currently in the market. Still we are doing the research, right? How to make the connections. If the ties are placed vertically, right? Still it is in the research stage. But 2.5D is in the market. Intel recently released this 2.5D technology. Call it as silicon interposer technology. Right? Why they have given 2.5? You know, because it is not a planar one and it is not a 3D. It is in between. Okay. Right? It is not a just 2D, it is not full 3D, it is in between. So that's why it is called as a 2.5. Right? So just I want to give the idea of what is 2D and 3D, right? So in detail I don't want to go. If time is available, then only I will discuss, right? So the conclusion is all the chips that we are currently using are 2D ICs, two-dimensional ICs. And if you place the dice in vertical, that is 3D IC, it is there in between, right? So this one we will try to discuss later. So after this. So I will try to explain the signal transmission in on-chip interconnects. Okay. So this one I will explain after 5 minutes break. After that we will read the papers and then we will conclude.
All of you, small break. Tea, snacks is there. After 5 minutes, please break.